Good morning everyone, it's scrapyard day. We're off to Melbourne in probably about 20 minutes. I've just got a few more things to pack. The van's pretty well loaded and we're going to cash in some of our heavy steel, our brass and a heap of batteries. Hey guys, Chris from the Ultimate Recycler. Welcome to the channel, welcome to another trip to the scrapyard. We haven't done one for quite some time. If you like scrapyard runs, check out the playlist for the Great Shop Backyard Cleanup, or whatever I called it. And we were doing a scrapyard every week at one stage there. So prices are still pretty good, I believe. I'll show you what I've got on board. In the front part of the van, not very much, just some tubs of brass. I don't really know how much I've got. I used to weigh it out exactly, and those ones do have 20 kilos of brass in them. Not sure what's in the bucket. Some of the milk crates, and there's more in the back. I just kept stacking it up until they were pretty much full. So I would probably estimate maybe 150 to 200 kilos of brass, enough to make a pretty good run as far as payments go. And likewise, I don't really know how much heavy steel I've got. I mean, the van looks pretty much empty, but there's a fair bit of weight in here. So a lot of the heavy steel come from the farm, and some of it, particularly up the front of the van, has been sitting in the van since the last farm trip. I didn't unload it. There's also a pile of batteries under those blankets that have actually done, I think, 2 trips to the farm, because when I pick them up, I don't want to unload them. I don't want to leave them stacked up at home. So, and I knew I was going to be doing the scrap run fairly soon. And these crates, well, I did pick up some extra scrap from a local guy yesterday and some batteries. Trev's our local mechanic, and he saves a bit of stuff for me, which is great. These frame things are reinforcing type frames. They were made up for the construction over the road from our house at the primary school, and they would obviously not needed, and they were thrown in the skip, so I grabbed those. I'm not normally going to save up that sort of steel, but I knew I'd be doing a run shortly, so there we go. I don't know how much I've got. 800 kilos of heavy steel, really not sure. So I don't want to overload the van too much. I used to like to get round about 1.5 tons in it. That was enough for it, otherwise it's too hard in the clutch. It is sitting down a little bit on the springs, so we must have maybe 1,200, maybe 1,400 kilos. Don't know, it'll be interesting to see. So we're on the road, we've just left home. I was mentioning about prices. I believe prices are pretty good, but I haven't checked with the yard. I think E-Waste Ben had a video up recently that showed some pretty good prices. But ultimately, if the prices dropped by half, it wouldn't, well, it'd annoy me, but it doesn't matter. I have to get the stuff off the van. I'm not going to unload it at home, and you know, whatever I get. So you know, that's not going to happen. But if there is a price drop, basically what I'm saying is I didn't bother ringing and checking with the yard because I need to get the stuff out of the van. So we're doing a trip. Hopefully we've got, I don't know, maybe, I'm guessing about 1,400 kilos on board. There's a fair few batteries and enough to make the van feel pretty sluggish. So I'll try not to pull out in front of anyone. And it is a bit of a drive down to Melbourne. The freeway is pretty good because the van just cruises along, but in Melbourne the traffic lights are a pain, and there's 1 or 2 spots where the traffic lights are on a hill, and I know if I get a red light there, it's you know, the van needs a little bit of a giddy up, come on, to get up the hill. So anyway, I'm enjoying doing a run to the scrapyard again. It's been a long time between drinks. My bank account will appreciate it. As far as the guess goes, I'm going to say 1,400 kilos, and I'm going to say, look, this is a total guess because I haven't calculated and I don't really know the prices, but I'm going to guess maybe we'll get about $1,500, $1,600, something like that. Certainly the brass is the best payer. So all right, I'll see you at the yard. So I've just pulled up in the yard. I got here okay. There's a hive of activity as normal, just waiting for some direction as to where to park, and then we'll start unloading. Okay, that was a good workout. We've pretty well filled that bin, so there's a lot of weight in that little bin. All the brass is in that one there. It doesn't look very much, but it should pay all right. And just waiting. I've got a pallet actually. They've given me a pallet to load the batteries on, but I'll wait until I move these bins so it's a bit easier. That's all the batteries I had, but they weigh quite a bit, and a few of them are these deep cycle batteries, which are very heavy, so I don't want to lift them any further than I have to. So that went well. I've certainly got a good workout this morning. It's just on about noon, so we made pretty good time, and my guesses weren't too bad. We actually had a bit more than I expected, 1906, so almost 2 grand. Pretty happy with that. We had a bit more heavy insize, just over the ton. 152 of brass. I think I said between 150 and 200, so really hard. It was just a guess. There was a bit more weight in the batteries than I thought. 650 a ton for the batteries, $7.80 a kilo for the brass, 450 a ton for the heavy steel. So that's pretty good. What did I say the estimated weight was? I thought we had about 1400 kilos. Well, that's 11, 14, well, just over 1500. So that's about what I want to put on the van. A really good load. Very happy with that. My phone's going flat, so I better hit the road. I've made a coffee. Christine was lovely enough to make me some sandwiches and cut them into triangles, and I have a banana, so we're good for the trip home. And we made it back home. We've completed full circle back outside our house. I got back about 1:30 this Savo. A good trip home, and the van always feels like a race car once I've unloaded, because it's not dragging 1.5 tons of stuff around. So it's a good performer, the old van, Mercedes Sprinter. It's an older model, but it's a real workhorse. So thanks for watching, guys. Another scrap run done. We'll probably do another one. Well, we'll do another one when we have enough stuff to take. But remembering, I didn't take any aluminium, I didn't take any stainless steel. I've got quite a bit of copper. I've got a lot of insulated copper wire. So once we get a reasonable value, we'll do another load. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next one. Bye for now.